events, truly global, to really give the feeling for those that want to surf with the wave, that want to be part in a constructive way of this transformation, that they feel they have something to hold on to, that they're not the only one, and that there has to be both components. Each one of us will have to find the ways of working with ourselves to leave the past, to be guided by the divine as individuals. But then we'll also have to see that, if this is about harmonizing relationships in the world, it's not enough to just work with ourselves. Harmonizing, it implies a harmonization of relationships. And that means the relationships on the largest, broadest possible scale, and that implies then collective events. And certainly I hope others will come up with other things as well. But this is a little bit of what is happening, and where people, I don't think anybody can say they were not aware of the changes or where do I go or something like that, because it's not. We all have to wake up to the fact that it's up to us. There will be no one to blame, and we can make the choice right now, and then we find the means we seek, and you will find.
Yes, and I love what you're doing. This is really so empowering, and I know that many leaders in the light-working areas are just worn out and tired, and they have their own websites, and they've been doing their own work all these years, and it just seems that it's such a wonderful time for people to just let go and join together if they want to, if they choose to, and work in unity, it's just such a perfect time for us to let go of our individual plans and just, allow the empowerment of a group to really affect the whole, and that will possibly be like the 100th monkey event, which is so necessary. Maybe the rest will get it when, at some point during this 9th wave, it'll probably have to happen or not. Do you have events, do you have events scheduled for all of the midpoints? For instance, I'm just thinking of August 26th and 27th, which happens to be destruction.
Yes. No.
Are you going to Wall Street?
Right. No. What? No. It's only up to the midpoint that things are scheduled. But But then what will also happen, and which will be advertised on this particular website, treeoflifecelebration.com, is that there will be, in the other points in time that are shifts in the wave, there will be, various kinds of calls and meditations and things like that, which are more about the individual, more about intellectual understanding, but the events of which are meant to be experiential and collective, they are set at the midpoints of the days. And I do expect that there is some, how shall I say, in thinking of this, we are still at the very early stage of the wave. And so it means that we are still coming in designing these things pretty much from our previous level, the 8th wave consciousness. And I do believe that there is a new component coming in. That's in the nature of these waves. If there wasn't any, and at least me personally, I can't quite see that. I can not quite fathom that new aspect. And so, as you know, that's why it's only planned out to the midpoint in early July, and then, it may take another form the way we continue, because some new component is properly introduced by the divine that will help guide us in the right direction from that point.
Wonderful. Well, these are all exciting things that are being brought forth, and of course, everything that we do requires that we learn how to be in the moment and in this now, because we're moving towards a point where that's all that will be.
Yes. Yes.
However that occurs, whether we go through a black hole or shift on into another dimension, I don't know.
Yeah.
Well, Carl, before we're not quite out of time yet, but I want to make sure that you mention all of your websites. Yours and the Tree of Life and Mayan Magics, I think, is one that you are also connected with.
Yeah. Yes. Right. There are a couple of websites I'd like to mention, especially my own Calleman.com, CALLEMAN.com, which is which is where I post my articles and so forth. And there's also the chance you can be on my email list, and you'll get articles sent regularly. Not regularly, that's not the word. When something happens.
When you read, and they're wonderful articles. I follow them just closely. I mean, your writing is just so eloquent and so perfect. I love to read what you have to say. So I just thank you for doing that for all of us.
Thank you.
And then there were a couple of other sites, Tree of Life, I think.
Yes. Yes. So then there's also the MayanMagics.com, which was created by Ian Langold, who promoted my work, and he passed away in 2005. But his webmaster, Mike Shore, is a wonderful man and very beautiful person, and he has continued very well with this big site with all kinds of articles. And then there is Mayan Calendar Portal by Birgitte Racine, who also has made an amazing job in creating a very beautiful site that holds a lot of. It's probably a little bit broader in its or more diverse. But it holds connections to many different websites around the world about the Mayan calendar. I should also mention a very high-quality website, 4-ahau.com. It's a new website, and it's created by a Frenchman, Pierre Lejourieux, who has... it's in both English and French, but it just has a very high quality of content. But then, so these are sort of more for people that want to get educated about it. When it comes to the healing of the divine,
Carl, we've literally run out of time, and we are now over. So I want to thank you for coming back, and I want to thank Terry at Mayan Magics for all her help and support, and I thank you immensely for all of the wonderful things that you shared with us today.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me. I enjoyed it, and I liked your metaphors.
Thank you. All right. Bye-bye, everybody.